Alright, guys. Sure thing. For polynomial, yeah, for polynomials, ne? So I think it's the whole chapter is just about cubic polynomials, right? So for cubic polynomials, we're gonna start with long and synthetic. Oh yeah, it's polynomials, yeah, and then we talk about basically the whole chapter. The whole chapter is about cubic polynomials, ne? And yeah. So before I would like to make a small illustration, right? Say you have 13, right? And you divide 13 by how much? By 3, right? Let's see what we get. 13 divided by 3. Ne, we get 13, or we get 4, 4, right? 1 over 3, right? Which uh and series is, I mean, I think you know it even if I don't explain it. So this fraction right here, right, it is exactly the same thing as having 4 1 over 3, right? So with that, let me show you something. Oh my word. Oh yeah, it's exactly 4 plus 1 over 3. I just forgot the plus, but yeah, these two things are exactly the same. Let me show you. 4 plus 1 over 3, bro. You see, you're still getting 13 over 3. Just hold on. We have 4, we have 1 over 3, right? Exactly the same thing, 13 over 3. Cool. So what's really important here is 13 equals to 4 plus 1 over 3, right? Oh, this is not just 13, it's 13 divided by 3. When we divide 13 by 3, we get 4 full whole numbers and 1 over 3, right? And also another different way of writing this, you could say 13 is equals to, then it's 3 multiplied by 4, right? Plus 1, plus 1, right? So in this format, now this is where the chapter starts, né? And this, when you have this form, and then you can clearly see that cool. So this is my what? This is my remainder, right? This is my remainder. So, and remainder is like what we couldn't divide by 3, right? What we couldn't divide by 3. Cool stuff. So it's like, for example, if any even number divided by 2, you're gonna get 0. So when you divide an even number by 2, you get 0, right? Saying there's no remainder, right? 2 is the factor of all even numbers, and yeah, there's nothing left, right? It's like, for example, you have a cake and the cake has been um sliced into like 8 pieces, and then there are 2 people, right? You won't have to stress over like how many slices is each person going to get, because from the 8 slices each person gets 4, and then it's fine. But if there are 8 slices and there are 3 no yeah there are 8 slices, and then there are 3 people, then it becomes an issue, because you're like 3 people. In fact, let me make an example with that one, right? So yeah, you'll be like, so overall there are 8 slices, and then and there are 3 people, right? So from 3 people, when you try to divide 8 slices, or not divide, when you try to share those 8 slices to these 3 people, you'd find out, let's say 8 over 3 is, I believe it's 2, 2 over 3. Let me see. 8 over 3. Yes. So it is 2 over 3. And 2, wait. 2 over 3. It's exactly, yeah, 8 over 3, right? So yeah, this is how much. And I did say this is the same as 2 plus 2 over, right? Cool. So what does this say? Ne? It says each person will be able to get 2 full slices. Like all 3 people, they'll be able to get they'll be able to get 2 full slices. But then there'll be 2 slices left. Right? So 2 is the remainder. Because those 2 slices we couldn't, give to, yeah. If we give away those 2 slices, there's there's one person who's not gonna get, right? So that is the whole idea, né? So with this we can also write 8 equals to what? 8 is equals to 3, né? Multiplied by 2 plus 2, right? So then this becomes the remainder, right? This becomes the remainder, and the not the remainder, the remainder. And then 8, right? 8 is what we call the dividend, né? The dividend, dividend, right? And then 3, the one we were dividing by, is going to be the divisor, right? The divisor. And then this 2, right? The whole number we got, right? That whole number, right? We call it the quotient, right? We call it the quotient, right? So the same then, like we would say that the same is true also when you are dividing polynomials, né? You're gonna end up with numbers that, so your polynomials, when you divide them, you can be able to write them in this format, right? So you would say that a of x, right, equals to a of x equals to, right, b of x, right, and quotient q of x, right, and then the remainder plus r of x, right? Yeah, so this is your polynomial, this is what you are dividing your polynomial by, and then this is what the divisor was able to give you, right? R missing here, yeah, and then this was the remainder that was left off, right? Cool stuff. So I would say this structure, know it, because for the rest of this chapter we will always come back to this form, right? Yeah, let's do a couple of examples. So I want to say so for the for dividing polynomials, because we were just talking about dividing here, right? So if you want to divide a polynomial and you want to divide that polynomial by another polynomial, b of x, right? There are 2 methods of division, right? There are 2 methods of division that we're going to use in this video. So the first one is a synthetic one, and the other one is the long division, right? Yeah, let me see. Yeah, long division and synthetic, right? So this side will go long and this side will go synthetic, right? Synthetic, right? Cool stuff. Cool. So for long division, let's focus on long division only. Long division, this is what you do. You take this guy, the one you're dividing by, yeah, write it here, x plus 1. Oh no. And you have something like this. Yeah, I'm sure you guys know, like, remember long division. Yeah, like if you had a number and, right, it was that division you would use if calculators were not allowed. Yeah, cool. So hear me step by step. Just do this step by step. Our focus on the side is on x. X is our only focus. We don't care about this one for now. Ne? So now we gonna attack all these numbers one by one. Ne? One by one. So let's start with this one, right? So starting with this one, we would say x to the power of 3 divided by x, which is x to the power of 1, x to the power of 2, right? So that x to the power of 2, we write it here. Yeah? And then after writing it, we take that x to the power of 2, we multiply it by x. We're gonna get x to the power of 3. We take that x to the power of 2, we multiply it by positive 1, we will get plus x squared. All right, so now do your line. So from your line, we are subtracting now. We are subtracting these, right? We are subtracting these. Yeah? Let's subtract x to the 3 minus x to the 3. That is x. No, that is 0. That is 0. Come on, bro. So that is 0. Yeah, 0. And then 2x squared minus x, that is gonna be x squared. After that, you bring down the remaining numbers. So you have plus 3x, you have plus 7, right? And our focus changes now. We're still focusing on x, but now we are here. We're like x squared divided by x, that is x, and a positive one. So we write plus x, right? Plus x. And then x times x squared, x times 1, x. Then we are subtracting these. Of course, this is 0, and then this is 2x, right? Then you bring down plus 7, right? Our focus changes now. 2x divided by x equals to 2, right? Become plus 2. We multiply 2x plus 2, right? Minus. And then when we minus, we get 0, and we get 7 minus 2, that is 5, right? So and that's the end, right? So then this, we then call it a reminder, right? Not a reminder, a remainder. Yeah, we call it a remainder. Cool. So we are done, yeah? So now you then write it in a proper way to say I cool. So I have, remember the proper way is a of x, b of x, q of x, plus r of x, right? And this is your polynomial, the one you divided, the one you're dividing by. Yeah, the quotient, right? Or what we was able to yeah, I don't know how to explain this one, but yeah, the quotient, and then your reminder. And of course the quotient is there on top, yeah. So let's go. You would say x, go for green, x to the power of 3 plus 2x squared plus 3x plus 7, right, equals to, I've written this, now b of x, x plus 1, right? Now my quotient, x squared plus x plus 2, right? There it is, right? That's my quotient. And then plus the remainder, plus 5. Just like that, friends, you're done. You're done. Cool. Let's go to synthetic to see what it has for us. So for synthetic, synthetic, cool. Synthetic, start here, né? You start with what you are dividing by, right? And then you then say b of x, of course, which is x plus 1 is equals to 0, right? So now trying to solve for x here, you get x equals to minus 1, right? And then you do a line like this, right? yeah, you do a line like this. Cool. And then you have your -1 here. Ne? Then here you only focus on the coefficients. Ne? Now we no longer talking about the variables. We focus on the coefficients. So you have 1 here. You write 1. You have 2 there. You have 2. You have 3. And you have 7. Remember, just the coefficients. So this is what we do. The first thing we do, you bring down the 1. Ne? We bring down the 1. And then after bringing down the 1, you take this 1, you multiply it by -1, and you're going to get -1. Then you write that -1 here, and then you add 2 plus -1, that is 1. Right, so you take this 1, multiply it by -1, you get -1. You write it here. 3 plus -1, that is 2. And then you take 2, you multiply it by -1, you get -2. You add these two together, 7 minus 2, that is 5. And my friend, you're done. So then you then say that, oh, therefore, your quotient is x squared, 1x squared, plus x, this is x, plus 2, right? And then out of x, which is the remainder, is 5, right? And then therefore you could then say q a of x is going to be b of x, which is x minus 1 or plus 1, into your quotient, x squared plus x plus 2, then plus your remainder, which is 5. And you're just like that, you're done. And our answers also, they matches, yeah? See, yeah, plus 5. So our answers matches too, so we're good. Yeah, let's focus on this other example. I think I'm gonna need more space, so delete. All right, cool. So we have this gentleman here. What are we doing? Long division, long division synthetic. So for long, of course, you have your x minus 1, and then you have those. Cool. So now we focus where? 2x to the 3 over x. That is what? 2x squared. So come 2x squared. Then we multiply. 2x squared times x, that is 2x to the power of 3 minus 2x multiplied by, 2x squared minus multiplied by 1, that is minus 2x squared. Then you are subtracting these. This is going to be 0 and this is going to be 5, right? So 3 minus, right? So you have 5x squared. Then we bring down these other ones, plus x minus 6. And then we go again, 5x squared over x. What do you have there? You have 5x, right? So plus 5x. You multiply 5x squared minus 5x. Cool. And then you are subtracting 0. X minus 5. That is 6x, right? Then you bring down minus 6. And then we focus x. 6x divided by, you're getting 6. So plus 6. You multiply, you have 6x minus 6, right? And you subtract, you're gonna get 0 here. So this is one of the most beautiful things, because you don't have a reminder here, because yeah, we got 0, so you don't have a reminder. So you then say, therefore a of x, which is this long guy, it's gonna be b of x, which is this quotient, which is this, plus remainder, which is 0. So writing them down, you have b of x, that is x minus 1. You have 2x squared plus 5x plus, and then plus 0, or you can just leave it as something like this, right? And then of course here you have your a of x. I mean, a of x is very long, bro, so I don't want to write it there. Yeah, cool. Let's cook synthetic. So synthetic, you focus first thing first, x minus 1 equals to 0, therefore x equals to 1. After you've done that, you go to your line. You have 1 here, you have 2, 5, oh no, 2, 3, 1, minus 6. So we're focusing on these numbers, the coefficients only, right? First thing first, you bring down the 2, right? Always we start with that 1, we bring down the 2. And then 2 times 1, that is 2, so 2. And then you add, right? You get 5. And then 5 times 1, that is 5. And you write here, and then you add, right? That is 6. 6 times 5, that is, I want to say 6 times 1. 6 times 1, that is 6. You add 0, right? And therefore quotient is 2x squared plus 5x plus 6, right? And then your remainder is going to be 0, just like we got here, 2x squared plus 5x plus 6, with the remainder being 0, right? Cool, let's continue. So okay, for these ones now, they're gonna be very, very interesting for synthetic, but we'll focus on that maybe later. So you have 3x minus 1, 3x3. All right, cool. Cool. So with what we have right now, you have 3x minus 1, blah 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 blah. We focus where 3x, 3 over 3x. Now that's what we do. So we go, you have x squared. You multiply 3x squared minus x squared, right? Yeah, and then you subtract. You're gonna add 0, both sides 0 0, so I'll just write 0. Bring down the 2 plus, then right, and then we focus on 0. We like 0 divided by 3x equals to 0, so plus 0, right? X squared. So 0x squared times this is gonna be 0. Yeah, this is going to be 0. Yeah, this is going to be 0 plus 0, right? Then we subtract 0, and then this minus this, that is 2x. Then we bring down the 1 plus 1. So we go again, 2x, 3x, you're getting 2 over 3, right? So plus 2 over 3, né? And then we multiply, right? When we multiply, we get 2x minus 2 over 3. When you subtract, you're gonna get 0, 1. So it's 1 plus 2 over 3, right? We get 5 over 3, right? So therefore here you would say your quotient is x squared plus 2 over 3, right? And your remainder is 5 over 3. Right, let's see what values we get. We must get exactly the same values for synthetic as well, otherwise we did something wrong. So for synthetic, remember the focus, you start here. Minus 1 equals to 0, then 3x equals to 1, x equals to 1 over 3, right? So now you write 1 over 3. Cool. We have 3 minus 1, 2, 1. Cool. So first and first, we bring down the 3. Ne? Alright, cool. Yeah, first and first, we bring down the 3, and then we cook. 3 multiplied by this is 1. So we write it 1. Do your adding here, 0, right? And then this term is that 0, so 2. And then this multiplied by that, you have 2 over 3. You add, you get 5 over 3. Right? So then you have your quotient is going to be 3x squared plus 2, right? Plus 2. Just hold on. And then your remainder becomes 5 over 3. So now whenever there is a question like this, where your divisor was like this, so your x variable had a coefficient, right? You would do this, you would say a of x equals to, right? So here it's going to be 1 over that coefficient, which is what, in fact it's not 1 over, so the general rule, it says that the general rule is that say b of x, right, is equals to c x plus d, right? So remember, when you're solving here, you're gonna say cx plus d equals to 0, right? Let me make it minus. So you have cx equals to d, and then x equals to d over c. So when you write it, say x squared equals to d over c bx qx plus your remainder, right? This is how you do it, right? So we're gonna have 1 over 3, this 1 over 3, and then you're gonna have bx, you're gonna have qx plus your remainder. Let's do that. So it's 1 over 3. So here, let me write your quotient also as, say, 3 into x Yep, x squared over 3 plus 2 over 3, right? Yeah, but actually this may not be necessary, right? So b of x, that is 3x minus, is it minus? Yeah, minus 1. Q of x, 3x squared plus 2, remainder plus 5 over 3, right? So we multiply by 1 over 3, right? So let's multiply this bracket. We get 3x minus 1, we get x squared because the 3 cancels, then we got 2 over 3, right, plus 5 over 3, right? So then you see that these, they match, right? Yeah, let's continue. So yeah, uh 4 to the power of 3, 2x, that is 2x squared. You multiply, then we subtract. You get 0. Here you're gonna get 2. Oh no, you're gonna get 6x, right? Yeah, you're gonna get 6x squared, then minus x minus 2. You have, this gives you 4 plus 4, yeah, plus 4. Wait, what? 4 minus minus is 6. Not 4, bro, not 4. It gives 3. So 3x. So 3x, 2 times 3, that's 6. X, that is x squared. And then minus 3x. We subtract, we get 0. And then minus x, minus 3x, that is 2x, right? Then you drop the minus 2, do your thing, you're gonna get plus 1, right? Yeah, you're gonna get plus 1. Bro. So do the multiplication thing. Multiplication, you get 2x minus 1, and do your subtraction thing. So when you subtract, you get how much? Come on. That's 0, and then 2, that's minus 1. Yeah. That means you have 2x squared plus 3x plus 1, and the remainder is minus 1. So if I write this, it will be something like 4x to the 3 plus 4x squared, was it, minus x minus 2. It will be equals to 2x minus 1, 2x squared plus 3x plus 1, then minus 1. Yeah, so let's synthesize this. Let's use synthetic method to see what we get. For synthetic we have 2x minus 1 equals 0. You have 1, 2x, x equals to 1 over 2. Right, so that means you're going to have what are you gonna have? You have 1 over 2 straight lines, 4 4 minus 1 minus 2, right? Then we continue with the process. So you drop the 4, you take the 4 multiplied by half, you get 2, so you write 2, you add, you have 6, you multiply, you have 3, you add, you have 2, you multiply, you have 1, you add, you have minus 1, right? Therefore, so also now here, for if ever, you see here, our divisor, it has our coefficient of x on our divisor. Whew. Oh my god, it has what is this thing? You have a coefficient. So when that happens, then when that happens, so you say it's cx, right? Cx minus d equals to 0, and then you have d cx, you have c equals to, then d, it's d over c, right? So you have something like this, and when you write, you'd say a of x, and then your a of x, it will be d over c multiplied by b of x multiplied by q of x, right? And plus the remainder, right? So this is a structure in which you'd write it, rather than here, which is just a of x is b of x times q of x plus the remainder. So if we apply this on the problem we have just solved, you're gonna realize that our d over c is 1 over 2 multiplied by your b of x, what we divided by 2x minus 1, I think. Let me see. Yes, it was. And then your q, which is 4x squared plus 6x plus 2, right? And then minus 1. So here you can take out 2 as a highest common factor. So 2, okay, 2x minus 1, 2 x squared plus 3x plus 1 minus 1, and then this 2 cancels with the other one, 2x squared plus 3x plus 1 minus 1. Then our answers exactly matches here. 2x minus 1, 2x minus 1, 2x squared, 3x, 1, right? And then minus 1. There we go. So yeah, let me close it here. We will see the rest in the next chapter. Yeah.